You are watching Pausing with Erik. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 280, Patterns of Growth. Today we are looking at this wood cube, patterns. Patterns is a universal skill. It is one of our 5 universal skills. And the universal skills of pausing are like the natural laws of pausing. They are like the underlying logic supporting how pausing is practiced. And patterns is the 4th of the 5 universal skills. Here is the image for patterns. So this image is a bit different. You can see that it's just like a frame, like an outline, framing the natural pattern in the wood. So you can see that the wood is sort of growing in this sort of wave pattern, like waves going from the center and out. It's a beautiful pattern. And there are also these little twigs. We pause and observe our natural patterns of growth. Patterns is how we continue what was and pass on what will be. So we grow as people in these natural patterns. We are living beings, so we grow in living ways, is an easy way to put it. And today, I think it's a good disposition to focus on 2 patterns in particular, 2 natural patterns. So first, we will focus on waves, wave patterns, like the waves here in the wood. And second, we will focus on spots, a bit like the twigs here in the wood, the spots. Here's a spot, here's another spot. So waves and spots. Okay. Waves. Waves. I hope this is visible for the camera. So the principle behind wave patterns is that we grow sort of in highs and lows. Like this. We do not grow always. We do not grow like this, straight up. We grow and then we stagnate some. And then we grow and then some steps back. And it's almost like breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. A lot in nature grows like this, that it comes and it goes. Like this. So, if we want, we can attune ourselves to this rhythm of sorts. Our growth rhythm. You see, there's a rhythm here. Up, down, up, down, up. Flow, ebb, flow, ebb, flow. Like waves. But in nature, not all waves look the same. And that's the same is true for us. Sometimes we grow in this very regular and this sort of regular sign pattern, if we talk mathematics. This sort of regular up and down, very smooth. At other times we grow in other sort of wave patterns. So sometimes we grow up to a certain point and then quite drastically we go down, like a triangular pattern. So it's still up, down, up, down, up. But the sort of point of change from up to down is very drastic in one moment. So we might grow in one way and then up to a certain point something happens or we realize something in a moment that changes our direction of growth. So it doesn't have to be up and down. It can also be this way and then in a split second change direction in another way. Another sort of wave pattern is that the build-up takes a long time. And then all of a sudden it goes down drastically. And then back up for a long time. And then down drastically. So slow up. And then in a short period of time, all down, all at the same time. And then slow build up. And then all at the same time down. Like a cliff or like an edge. Slow up like a hill. And then down over the edge, the cliff. The opposite is also true, that sometimes we grow in this spurt, like up the cliff, and then slowly go back. And then up the cliff, and slowly go back. I guess these times right now can often feel like this, that we have to grow in these spurts, whether we like it or not. And that a lot is expected of us to be achieved in a very short period of time. This is a tough one. The growth spurts. That's a tough one. And still at other times, we might grow in such a slow manner that we go up, but so slowly, but it almost looks like we are not in a wave pattern, because it's up, but so slowly that the peak is maybe here and then down. So we don't have enough time to really realize that we are in a wave pattern, because the frequency is too long, the period is too long. So we might be going up slowly or down slowly, not really realizing that we are going downwards in a wave pattern. So I think these 6 are good to sort of recognize in natural growth in us people. Okay, let's talk a bit about spots. Spots. Here, often, socially, we people, we begin in small spots, like this. We have a small circle of friends, or, a small family, or like that. But then, in time, these spots may grow and become bigger. And when the spots grow big enough, when we group in big enough groups socially, some spots start to merge. Can you see this on the camera? That the spots begin to merge like this. And then maybe these merge as well. Maybe these two will start merging as well. And then in the next moment become something like this. Spots growing. These two have merged into a big spot. This one growing. These have merged into a very big spot. Can you see that these two images are the same image, only with a delay in time? Maybe these two have merged by then. These two have merged. Like this. And then perhaps in a long enough timeline, all these merge. and create one big spot. And the same can also be done in reverse. We may see socially that we begin as one coherent whole and then split up more and more. I think that's a common phenomenon now, that we feel that the old sort of social groups we were in are split up more and more, so that we may feel more and more alone in these times, unfortunately. And we can also combine waves and spots. So perhaps in one way we are being split up more and more in smaller and smaller social spots. But on a long enough timeline, say that we are split up, let's do this, split up more and more, and then maybe we will come together more and more. Split up, come together, split up. So like this we can learn to recognize a lot of natural growth patterns in us, in how we sort of function as people and as social groups. This is a nice sentence here. Patterns is how we continue what was and pass on what will be. So like these waves and spots, we inherit the waves and spots from generations past. We inherit them, and then they are ours to do something with. And then we will pass on them to the next generation, like this. So patterns is also to learn to see ourselves in a greater scheme of things, on a longer timeline, to see that our generation inherited the last generation and we will pass on to the next generation. But we all do it in more or less the same natural patterns. These patterns can be both beautiful and at times terrifying. So it's both nice and tough at the same time. That's it for today. Thank you.